All right, now that we have the box open, looks like we have the 4 square-shaped satellite speakers. And up here, that's the control box that sends a signal to all of the speakers. And we've got this little portion here. It's got some diagrams on it for a quick setup, but I did take a peek and there are definitely some accessories behind this. So let's take a look at those. All right, we've got mounting brackets, so you can mount them on the wall. And it says ×4. So we've got mounting brackets for all 4 satellite speakers. I like that, how it comes with it. Don't have to worry about getting your own, but I do appreciate how Sony has supplied the consumer with the brackets already. Got some literature, manuals and such. 360 Reality Audio Music Service free trial. Ooh. HDMI cable. Okay. Looks like we got some batteries. A standard 3.5mm stereo audio cable. I believe this is for the acoustic center sync if you have a Sony television. And it looks like this is a remote. Yeah, such a little guy. So obviously that's what these batteries are for, to go inside this little remote. Input button, sound field, voice, I imagine is some sort of voice enhancement with dialogue, volume up and down, bass up and down, because Sony was kind enough to supply me with the SW5 wireless subwoofer. So I will be including the wireless subwoofer in the official review. It also has a night mode and mute. Okay. I gotta tell you though, even with the batteries in, this is very light. It does seem quite cheap. But if you prefer, you can also control this system with your smartphone. But every once in a while, I do sure like to have just something in my hand. So I'm glad they included that. All right. Yeah, the control box. It's got a little IR sensor in the front. Yeah, as you can see, the S center out, that's for that stereo audio cable to plug straight into your Sony television. So you can have the television itself be the center channel. So here's the HDMI output that goes out to your TV. So you can hear what's on the TV via eARC. Oh, nice. You got an Ethernet port for superior connection to the internet, power button, power cable inlet, and 1 HDMI input. So that's cool. You could plug in your gaming system, PS5, for example, Xbox, but also 4K Blu-ray player if you want to plug it directly into this, because this can decode Dolby True HD and DTS HD master audio signals. All right, so that's it as far as the control box is concerned. Oh yes, the AC adapter for the control box itself. All right, now let's open up one of these. Obviously I don't need to do this 4 times, so I'll just do it the one time. Okay, it's a square. It does have some rounded edges though, so that's a nice aesthetic. Here's where you plug in the power cord. Here's a link button if you're performing any troubleshooting steps. My guess is I won't really have to use it because it'll just automatically sync. One thing to note, this says rear R for your right rear surround. So they do have specific places to go. So just be aware of that when you're setting up this system for the first time. Got your upward firing driver here. And on the back, this little doorway, you got a little screw here for mounting. Hooray. And underneath, we've got these little feet. Put these on like so. Just set them in here. I mean, they're still kind of loose once you just set them in like this. But it's because you then take this piece here, put it on like so. Ta-da. And then each satellite comes with this little packet with screws inside. It is just a normal Phillips screw. So this is just for demonstration purposes. So I got this little screwdriver here. Let's screw that in. Not too tight. Cool. And there you have it. Stand. And lastly, each one obviously comes with its own power cable. I do appreciate how the power cables are a light gray, since 99% of electronics out there have a stark black power cable. So kind of like how that's not the case here. All right, so that about covers the unboxing portion. That's pretty much all we're gonna do. Obviously going to unwrap and put these stands on all the rest of the satellites, but you don't need to see that. That's kind of boring. All right, one thing to note that I really like about wireless audio systems like this, as opposed to a sound bar, at least in my situation, since I have the TV over here, but I have all the connected stuff in this cabinet here. So typically when I review a sound bar, obviously the sound bar has to go here, and then I have to somehow have an HDMI cable going all the way down here, and then power cords going all the way down here. Power cord issue I'll still have to deal with because I'm gonna set the satellite speakers here and here, but I do like how I can have everything just kind of nestled in this cabinet here. So here's the control box. I'm just gonna set it on top of my Marantz AVR, because that's typically what I use when I'm not reviewing a soundbar or a wireless system. And then I've got the AC power strip over here. Although one thing to note, I kind of wish that this was just like your standard AC adapter power cable for the control box. You know, something that looks more like the power cable that connects to the satellite speakers, where it has this end on it, right? But instead I have this clunky thing, because space is a premium in this little corner here. So I kind of wish I didn't have to deal with this clunky thing, but it is what it is. So once I get it connected to the power strip, I will then snake the HDMI cable through that hole there, which will connect to my Samsung TV One Connect box, which then sends the signal out to the TV. All right, so what I'm gonna do is put the satellite speakers in their respective places. Like I mentioned before, I'm gonna put 2 of them here on the mantle. Again, this is just for the first impressions. For the official review, what I'm most likely going to do, because it has that mounting screw hole in the back, I'm probably gonna get some light stands, because I have quite a few light stands over in my studio, and I'm just gonna screw the light stands into the back and elevate them, because as you can see, these are pretty big, and the corner of the TV is now being blocked by the speaker itself. So I don't want that. So for the official review, I'll have them on stands to the side, just a bit. But for now, let's just go ahead and place these around the living room, like so. And also because Sony claims, along with the predecessor, the HT-A9, with this new Bravia Theater Quad system, again, they claim that you can virtually put them anywhere, and it will still calibrate it as best it can and still make it seem like you're in the middle of the action. So I'm excited about that. Well, obviously, on the record player over there isn't exactly ear level, so I'm probably gonna put some books underneath. But yeah, I wanna have it over here, because that way it's also out of the way. There's no power cords going all over. I do have a power outlet underneath this rug here, underneath the couch, which is probably how I'm gonna set it up for the official review, because I'm gonna, have speaker stands here, so it's in your proper placement. But for now, again, I'm just gonna wing it, see how it sounds if I really kind of push its limits on where these speakers are located. So I'm also going to have it kind of over here. Again, I'm going to have to elevate it on some books probably, because, because this is definitely not ear level. But let's get wild, huh? Let's see how that 360 spatial sound mapping deals with this particular setup, where the surrounds especially are in very not ideal placements. Boom. And let's not forget that we do have the SW5 wireless subwoofer from Sony. Don't need to spend too much time on this because it's a subwoofer. You've got a power cable and some pretty thick binding things I gotta cut. Cool. With most subwoofers, I would flip the box and then remove the box slowly, but this one's not particularly too heavy, so I'm just gonna take it out. Ta-da! There you have it. Pretty slick. Okay, so just to recap, I got everything plugged in and ready to go. We've got this satellite here, power cable going down there. This satellite here, power cable going behind the cabinet. The box itself right here, chilling on my Marantz Cinema 70S. We've got the wireless subwoofer in this corner. Since it is wireless though, I may put it behind the couch when I do my official review. We'll see. And as I said before, I've got all these books here, courtesy of the Hunger Games and the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Now the speaker is ear level. And over here, same story on the vintage record player we got handed down from my wife's great-grandma, I think. Yeah, on top of that, courtesy of Lord of the Rings and Isaac Asimov and H.P. Lovecraft, this is now ear level. All right, so now let's set it up. And boom, automatically my Samsung TV has detected HT-A9 Mark II, aka the Bravia Quad. Didn't even have to do anything. It just detected it. So cool. All right, just FYI, the previous Sony apps I think were like Music Connect or Sony something or other, but now there is a Bravia Connect, which you will need to use to perform the 360 spatial sound mapping, to calibrate it. HT-AX7. Nope. Switch to another device. Add device. Turn on device. Boom. No time at all. Bravia Theater Quad. So like a lot of stuff nowadays, you gotta sign in. If you don't have a Sony account, then you need to create one for this to work. Hooray. Move closer to the control box. Yes, it is blinking. Pairing is required. Start pairing. Pair. This process may take a moment. Next. Network settings. Mordor. Yes, I want Mordor. Hooray! Connected to my Wi-Fi. I mean, sure, if I really wanted to, I could connect it to the Ethernet port on that control box, but whatever. Obtaining device information. Hooray. Next. Give the device a name. Sure, we'll call it Bravia Theater Quad. I've already done that step. Attached. Great work. Thanks, Sony. Okay, next. Notes replacement. Audio is output from the top. Do not place the speakers in a shelf or directly under a ceiling. Front left, front right, rear left, rear right. Do you hear that? Chime. Ooh, it even notices the subwoofer. Yay. What are the distances to the position you watch TV from and subwoofer? 3 meters or further. Yeah, because I'm about 13 feet away from the TV. So that's more than 3 meters. Sure, auto update, whatever. Awesome. Optimization. Yes. Here we go. Measure this room's acoustic characteristic. The mobile device's built-in microphone is used for the measurement. Allow access to the microphone. Oh, interesting. Allow. Okay. Okay. Facing the TV. Okay. Ding. Perform the measurement by holding the mobile device at face level. Okay. Pretty intense, I'll say, for a wireless sound system. Ah, hooray. Ooh yeah, play back a sound demo. That was cool. Filled up my entire living room. All right, folks, that about wraps it up with the unboxing and setup. My first impressions are great. Like I said, when I heard that demo that it played after I set everything up, it literally filled this entire living room space. Also, when I was done with the setup, it was lunchtime. So I had some lunch and I started watching the concert on Disney Plus, the new one that just dropped today, Queen Rock Montreal. Unfortunately, I don't have a Sony or Hisense or TCL TV, so I didn't get the new, IMAX Enhanced DTS audio portion, but I did at least get the Dolby Atmos version. And man, sounded great. It looked great as well. So I'm excited to dive into this even more, test out some more demo scenes that I usually go to. It probably will be some time before the official review of this product comes out, just because I really want to test out that acoustic center sync with the Sony Bravia 7 TV that will be coming my way hopefully pretty soon. So finally, when I do get that, because I have it in my living room right now, but the Bravia 7 will be going in my dedicated home theater. So I will then be taking this sound system, transferring it over to my dedicated theater, and seeing how it sounds in there as well. So yes, be on the lookout for that review coming hopefully in the next few weeks. So with that being said, as always, this world is crazy as it is already, so it only makes sense to be kind to each other out there. Don't just watch TV and movies, experience them with 360 spatial sound mapping with the Bravia Quad. And of course, always be listening.